Hi guys, Steve Good here with the Scrollsaw Workshop. Please visit my Scrollsaw blog at www.scrollsawworkshop.blogspot.com. Um, the other night I posted an email from Pat showing off some of the ornaments that he had made through the holidays uh, from a tip that I had posted, a video I had posted several weeks ago about how to use the envelope tool in CorelDRAW to make the shape of the text fit within a circle or an oval or some other shape. I had a lot of emails about those ornaments that Pat did. A lot of people liked them and wanted to know how to do them, but many of those people also did not have CorelDRAW and wanted to know if there was a way to do the same thing in Photoshop. Well, I spent a little bit of time on some of the online Photoshop forums and asked several people, and really nobody could come up with an automatic way of doing the same thing that CorelDRAW is able to do with the envelope tool. So I thought I would spend a little time playing around in Photoshop and seeing if I could come up with a way to do it. And I think I have. It's a manual method and not nearly as easy as doing it in CorelDRAW. And if any of you Photoshop gurus out there are watching this and know of an easier way to make happen what I'm doing, please let me know. Okay, let's get started and I'll show you what I think I figured out how to do that might give you a chance to give this a try. I'm going to go ahead and create a new window here, and I'm going to create one that's 800 by 600, just enough room to give us a chance to do this tutorial. You might want to make this bigger or smaller depending on what you're going to try to do with it. Okay, here we have Photoshop open with the 800 by 600 screen, and the first thing I'm going to do is go down here to the new layer button, and I'm going to create a new layer. And in that layer I'm going to select my oval tool, and up here under the oval tool menu items, I want to make sure that the paths icon is selected. I'm going to go ahead and draw this oval on the screen, which is actually now a path. I'm going to go over here and click on the Paths tab, and on this work path I want to come down and click on this icon that will stroke path with brush. Now in this case, to give you an idea of what I've got a brush selected that's 19 pixels wide because I want to stroke this with a pretty good wide brush. So when I go back to the path and I click on this, it should stroke a circle around this path just like this. Now there's a couple of things that can make this go wrong. If in your brushes menu you have any of the special effects turned on, this may not turn out right. So you want to have a nice even circle selected here. Once we have that done, we can go ahead and delete this work path because we're finished with it. So I'm just going to drag it down to the trash can there to delete it. Select my pick tool, and I'm going to go ahead and center this up on the screen a little bit. Now the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and create the text that I'm going to try to fill within this circle. So I'm going to select my text tool, and of course we want to have a font selected that will give us a reasonable chance of having what we want. So I've selected the Arial Black. In this case I've got a font size of 72 selected. You may have to play with that a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and type my name on the screen here and take my pick tool, go ahead and center this up inside the oval that we created. And now the next step I'm going to do is the manual method of trying to make this text fit within this circle. And you may want to play with the size of this text before you start this stretching that I'm going to do to make it fit better, but you'll get the concept of it here. Once you get that done, go ahead and go to your layers menu and rasterize and type, because we need to have this type as a rasterized image instead of a piece of text on the screen. So go ahead and rasterize this text, and that will create this layer down here that's no longer a text layer. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Edit, Transform, Warp. Once we do that, that will put this bounding box around the text that we put in the center of this oval. And what you're going to do now at this point is actually manually make this text conform to this circle. And I don't have this down to where it works great yet. It's definitely something you got to play with to get good at. But the first thing I try to do is take this upper left hand corner and drag this S up here as close to the circle as I can, and I do the same thing down at the bottom. Move over to the right side of the text, move it up, left, right, bottom side of the text, move it up, and now from each corner we have these handles sticking out, and what we can do is take these handles and pull them down until we get this text spaced within this circle the way we want it to be. And again, this takes a little finesse and a little practice to get this to do the same thing or even close to the same thing that the envelope tool does in CorelDRAW. So what you want to do is continue to take these handles and move them until you get this text inside of this circle approximately where you want it. Once you get it there, and try not to go outside the circle if you can. Once you get that inside the circle the way you want it, looks like I need to pull this up just a little bit to get the T and the E up in there. Then go ahead and hit your enter key, and there basically you have your ornament that you can now go up to your layers menu, flatten this, and now you've got you can save it out to a JPEG or print it out. Now the problem with this method, again, because we were using rasterized text and these are not vector graphics, there's a lot of fuzziness around this pattern. So it's not going to create a real elegant pattern for you, but I think it'll at least give you the way to do it if you have Photoshop and you do not have CorelDRAW. Okay, that's basically what I wanted to show you. If again, if any of you Photoshop gurus out there can give me a better way to do this, I would really like to be able to pass it along to my blog readers. Thanks, and don't forget to visit my blog at www.scrollsawworkshop.blogspot.com.